childhood, growing and developing years of a person, this is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time just keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back, and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution will hold strong, and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of 1 a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS.
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather fly together. So watch out, CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stopping.
What's up, Tiff?
Well, today was a good day. How about you? What's up?
Well, today was a fine day. We're still upright and taking nourishment, so that's half the battle.
Thank God for that.
Yes, ma'am. That's right. We wouldn't be here having a show.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you know it's almost 1 year for me and you doing shows?
It doesn't even seem like that, though, for real.
No, it seems like a lot longer.
No, it does not. Oh, my.
Oh, my. Yes. Yeah, it is. That's actually 1 year. It was actually September, well, I think it was 8th that you and I started when you had me come on to your show back in the day.
Yeah.
You look a lot younger then. They could see the show on in our post section in the community. That's still there from when we started this whole finagling, this whole fight. But yeah, tomorrow is actually 1 year officially since our first show.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, forget this. Get the chats up here. Let's see if Francesca has said. Because we're trying to get Francesca Amato in here with us. I don't know if she's too busy or not. She hasn't said no yet. So, yeah, hopefully she'll come on and talk about her bill. Because
Okay.
she got a big shindig going on with that. So that's some stuff that's going on. Why was today a good day, Tiff? Tell me why today was a good day.
Well, a couple things. Virginia did not get their raises again. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you, Danielle.
That's right. I had a whole conversation with her. But the downside to that is they're trying to steal money from the schools to fund CPS. Absolutely not.
Are they really?
Yes.
Wow.
So she
No
said
kidding.
that they are looking into that.
Wow.
So we're watching that. So another good thing today happened. One of the girls that I'm working with here, last week I said they were sat in court for 7 hours for nothing.
Oh yeah, yep.
Right, to be remanded back to the original judge. Well, the original judge and the CPS and their attorney their asses today and said, "You will. I'm directing you to work with the father to reunify these children with their father." They're pissed.
Wow. Well, that's good. Maybe that's a sign to see that everybody needs to take heed, take notice. You know, that these judges maybe they know that their immunity is getting put on the line, and they don't want to lose that. Those
Right.
judges do not want to lose that because that allows them to be their personal effects.
Yes.
So everything that they've been taking, you've got, you can fight for it, people. And we are looking into this whole, you know what I'm trying to figure out today
What?
before I had a nap, which some people call going to sleep. I had a nap, was trying to figure out how do we make these people take drug tests? Because we, the people, have to be somewhere on that line of precedence in the court, right? Precedence in the court. It would just have to be. It only makes sense because we are the people. We are the government. We are everything. So there's got to be a way that we can command to them that we want anybody that's involved in these court cases to be involved in a drug test. Because if they can hold us liable and make us test for these things, then they sure as shit should be doing it themselves, right?
Yeah.
But
I
how
think
do
it
we
should
do
be.
that?
I think we need to get a federal law passed, which will trickle down to the states.
But how can we? How do you? There's got to be some sort of policy or procedure that states that a person can go ahead and ask these people for a drug test.
No. We mandate them to drug test once a week, twice a week, once a month, doesn't matter. Just
Right.
like, when you go to get a job, you have to be drug tested.
Right.
And if you're working certain jobs, you get randomly drug tested.
Yeah, that's the facts. Yep.
So I think we need something in those lines because I don't believe the state legislator is going to do it. But
right. Because you know what that does, right?
What?
If they test positive,
oh, they got to go.
it strips their immunity.
They got to go.
Well, they got to go, but it also strips their immunity. So it's like a double-edged sword for them. Not only do you get them removed, but now you can go after them because chances are good that they've already been involved in your case, right? Most especially in these family law cases. You're halfway through, which I don't understand that either. How is it that they can continuously hear arguable information? Because in a criminal court, if a judge has been privy to arguable information or undetermined or unverified or whatever type of information, they have to be recused from that because they're not supposed to hear arguable things. They're only supposed to hear what facts are in the case. But yet in family law, they hear arguable information all the time. Like think about how many times when you're doing Jeopardy hearings or things like that they go back and forth with the language that the judge hears all this. So the judge hears disputable information that they shouldn't hear because they should only be able to hear what is put on for fact. So that doesn't make sense because they're only supposed to be able to rule on what's the facts, of the case, the legit legal facts.
That's why the 7th Amendment is beautiful because we the people hold the right to a grand jury.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Well,
right.
So maybe we continue on Monday and Fridays then.
In civil cases, if $20 or more. So, like I said, I've asked a lawyer one time. So you mean to tell me that we can't have a jury trial because it's a family court, but a life is worth more than $20? So you're telling me that a life is not worth $20?
Right.
And of course, nobody wants to answer that question because either way, the answer is stupid.
Right. Yeah, that's a spot on that you don't want to be in. That's the question you don't want to be asked.
We might not have to be worrying about none of them questions no more because if you open up your messenger, I sent you that the Parental Rights Foundation actually has some sponsors of a new parental rights bill.
Well, there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
We have one here that we've done. We have one here that we have that we're going to start promoting out too.
Yeah, this one's federal. This is actually going to be a constitutional amendment. And I think Mr. Ramey is the one that helped with this bill. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I know I did send it to you.
You say that often.
Yeah, I know I sent it to Gunnar.
I call for it every damn time.
It says, oh crap, I just lost it. When I sent it to Gunnar, he said, they know we are coming. The reckoning is here.
Yep, they do. And this is the thing too, that these advocate groups that are going out and warning all of these players in this game need to stop. Stop warning them. Unless you're going to go out and enforce something or put something in their face that's going to is meaningful, stop warning them through our steps and that what we're doing. This is absolutely ridiculous that they do this stuff, that they come out and just, here, beware, watch out, so that they can defend what we're doing or the actions that some of us are trying to come up and do. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I just resent it to you.
Okay.
In Messenger.
Yes, I got it. You just popped up on me.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just absolutely asinine that these advocate groups are going out there and they're pretty much giving these CPS workers and these, these town councils and these Senate majority meetings and all this shit. They're warning them for what's to come. And what is that going to do? It's just going to scare them away, and it's going to push them into places that they're going to become unreachable because you just warned them. These things need to be done by an element of surprise, and it doesn't matter who does it as long as somebody does it. But going out there to gain your popularity and run around saying blah 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 and not doing anything to act upon it other than going there and running your mouth, and then now making it so that these people are untouchable to others trying to serve them or whatever, that's just ridiculous. That's not helping anybody.
It's
So
hurting us.
if you're an advocate and you're out there trying to stomp around to change some things, that's awesome. That's amazing. But shut your goddamn mouth if you're not going to do anything about it. Because all you're doing is ruining it for the person that's behind you that has the remedy, that has the cause and effect, and that need to access these things, but they can't now because you came there to get yourself a new TikTok video or a new whatever, and you're running around talking about shit. People don't even know what you're saying. But yet what they do know is that they need to close these doors to these meetings now so that the public can't get in there. And now your message to get to them is even more difficult.
Yep.
Stop being selfish advocates.
Yes, it's not about you per se. It's about the kids. It's about reform. It's about changing the laws and coming up with remedies to stop these people.
Yep. Sure the hell is.
Well, pull up that parental rights bill, Darren.
Yep, I will.
I absolutely love it, and I'm going to thank Mr. Ramey because I know he was a part of it.
Yes, yes, yes. He says.
Yep, that's what I said. That's what I said. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm so freaking excited. Blah 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 blah. A lawmaker to propose amendment enshrining parental rights in the Constitution.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Let's see. First on the day signal, Representative Mary Miller of Republican Illinois will propose a constitutional amendment to establish the freedom of parents to raise and educate their children as a fundamental right. For too long, unelected bureaucrats and activist judges have sorry, my thing popped up in the middle of my screen here, have trampled on the role of parents, treating them as obstacles instead of the primary protectors and decision makers for their children. Miller told the Daily Signal, "This must end. My parental rights amendment will enshrine this truth in the United States Constitution, ensuring once and for all that parents, not the government, hold the ultimate authority and responsibility for the upbringing, education, and care of their children." The Daily Signal depends on... The amendment would establish the liberty of parents to direct the upbringing, education, and care of their children as a fundamental right. Miller's joint resolution to amend the Constitution says a parent's right to direct his or her child's education includes the right to choose private, religious, or home schools as an alternative to public schools. It also includes the right to make reasonable choices within public schools for one child. Neither the United States nor any state shall infringe on these rights without demonstrating that its governmental interests as applied to the person is of the highest order and not otherwise served. The proposed amendment says the joint resolution would have to be approved by 2/3 of majority votes in both House of Representatives and the Senate, and then ratified by the votes of 3/4 of the states, or by a constitutional convention called by 2/3 of the state's legislature, then similarly ratified by 3/4 of the states. Republican reps Sherry Biggs of North Carolina, Ashley Hinson of Iowa, Mike Collins of Georgia, where we don't go, Addison McDowell, Addison McDowell of North Carolina, Ben Klein of Virginia, and Greg Stubbe of Florida are co-sponsoring the joint resolution. Conservative organizations, including Concerned Women for America, Family Research Council, Independent Women's Forum, Parents Defending Education, Moms for Liberty, and Alliance Defending Freedom, support the amendment. All right. Very nice.
I'm excited. That'll be our 28th amendment if it passes.
No, I think that's 30th, no?
No, there's only 27.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, very angry. Typical scenario. Tiff's right. No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's freaking. This is cool though.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I hope that works. So, I mean, I don't know what the bill says itself, but clearly, it's just trying to force the hand to the federal things as you know as it shows.
Well, once it become if they can get it ratified, which I think they can, especially if Virginia's on board. Once they get it ratified, there will be a new printed constitution with that in it. It will be the 28th Amendment,
All right.
and it now becomes superior law of the land.
Well, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Now, you just found this, or did you know about this before?
No, I just found it today. But it came from the parental rights organization.
Yeah.
They need to get with Tim Scott too. I don't know why his name's not on there, because his bill goes a little bit deeper and says that you can turn around and sue them and they lose their immunity. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But I do believe, because we're at the right time in this fight with the Trump administration, I think they can get it done.
And we need to do it before it gets out of control in there, and before things get a little bit haywire and wacky, before people start, well, I guess in small essence, ruining it for everybody else. You know, this is why I don't commend class action lawsuits, because, you know, in the pool of millions of us, which there literally are millions of us, it's not right, Tiff, that you get to choose a situation that is surrounded by so many of us. Let's just say, being generic here, entering your home without a warrant. So for a class action lawsuit, first of all, what you need is to have everybody with the same situation at hand, and not just by a little stretch, by a lot stretch. You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, it has to be a common area of, you know, all this stuff. All these things have to line up, because it's pretty much a verbatim thing. But the problem is if you win or lose that lawsuit, no one else can challenge that issue again. It becomes dead in the water. So if you were some poor person, not meaning money-wise poor, meaning like emotionally, and I feel bad for you poor, but if you were like a poor person that was sitting in the corner for all these years, being depressed and, you know, mimicked and all of that stuff by people, and you finally gain the strength about you to get, you know, up and be like, all right, I can do this. And then you go and, you know, you get someone to represent you, you go in there and you lose. And then you lose. Not only did you lose that fight, so did so many other people. And they can never challenge that again. You know, so that's the problem that I have with the class action suit, guys. So be aware when you're filing these things. And hopefully the majority of you guys are looking for a lawyer to file this paperwork for you first. Because, yeah, you'll get definitely... oh my God. You'll get more thorough if you pay for the, you know, like, you'll get more thorough work out of it. But the problem also that people don't realize with the class action suit is this: you have to pay for everybody to be served.
Yeah. And the other problem with that is, let's say every state is different. In Virginia, you have to have 25 people to file class action.
Okay.
So let's say you win your class action, right? And you won for $2 million.
Yeah.
So the attorney's taking 40% of that.
Yep.
And then it's getting split 25 ways.
Yeah, 25 million ways, you know?
Yeah.
So let's just say that you're winning, which would be more than this, but let's just say it's $1 million and you have 1,500 people in your class action suit, which wouldn't be unheard of, right? For this type of stuff. I mean, the biggest class action suit up until this point, I believe, I think it still stands as the Facebook one. I think there were 750,000 people part of that, I think.
Oh my.
And they only got, and the ruling was I think it was over $1 billion, wasn't it not? For the Facebook thing. Let me look here before I, let me see.
And people always say it's not about the money, it's not about the money, and it's not about the money. I would never join a class action suit because if we lose, I could never go back and
Right.
refile. Ever.
Yep. You're putting your shit right on blast by doing that, putting all your cards on the table.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible thing. Especially, when if you lose, now nobody can ever again challenge that. And what right do you have as a person to go out there and challenge, like flip somebody else away from the rights that they have? So I highly suggest, if you have a case that you're strong in and you're solid in, don't class action, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Go at it yourself. Get recommendations from a lawyer, do all that stuff, but don't strip away somebody else's chance to get some remedy or some sort of restitution from their kids being taken to. That's not fair. It's not fair at all. And I don't think a lot of people think of it that way, but that is the truth of the matter of what you've done if you go and do that. And then especially if you lose, like you just took this person's only shot at this stuff and you ruined it for them. Because you're stuck with that group once you're in there. So the appeal process, everything, you can't break out and appeal off that, or you are stuck in that class action suit on almost 100% until the end remedy is approached or squashed.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys need to make sure. God, there's just so much to do in so little time. Tiff, let her rip.
Rip.
I don't know, whatever you wanted to talk about.
The only thing I want to talk about is I've been hearing a lot of this, and I've been thinking about this a lot too, right? Like shit just pops in my brain sometimes and I just can't get it out.
It's a scary place in there.
Yeah, who you telling? My favorite song used to be Dangerous Minds. But anyway,
both these lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Yes, that's right. So I know that a couple of people have called CPS on
little Brazilian prophecies.
Their exes, whatever. If we would stop weaponizing CPS, because that's all you're doing is you're fueling to the fire. And what you're not understanding is anytime you call, you take a 99% risk of losing that child forever. Okay? Forever. One call can destroy your whole family. And I tell people all the time, if you're a grandparent, you're an aunt, you're an uncle, you're whatever, just go file for custody. Do not drag the third party, which is the state, into your business, because they will tear your family apart. And the only people you are hurting are the children. That is the whole thing, to keep the kids out of care. My daughter said to me one time, "What are you gonna do, Mom? Call CPS?" I said, "First of all, I'll slap your goddamn teeth out of your fucking mouth because I don't play with them. And why would I call them? I know all about you. I can walk in that courtroom and take custody if I need to. Don't play. Do not put your lives in the hands of CPS in the family courts or dependency court. File a petition, a motion to intervene, file for custody, whatever the case may be, if you believe that there's something going on. Just please stop weaponizing CPS, because the majority of the calls are mandated reporters and people that are mad at you. That's family members, friends, neighbors. Okay? So stop weaponizing CPS. All you're doing is giving the state more ammunition and more money. Stop giving these people money.
Money.
Right. Once you learn that it's truly about the money, why would you let anybody profit off the backs of your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews? That is trafficking. No, don't do it. Just don't.
Yeah,
That's all I got. I've been thinking about that a lot. Just because I've been hearing stories of grandparents because they don't like how their kids are raising their kids. It's none of your damn business unless they're being sleeping in a car or they're in real
That
danger.
doesn't break up the love that you have for your children. That's the thing. Like the love that you have for your kids can be finagled around if you don't have an immediate home for them. But like if you're in transit, if you're hotel hopping, find a friend to take care of them, your kids for you for a couple of weeks, or have your grandparents do it, like you just said, or something like that. Don't drag them along for that. You need to give your kids the stability of staying somewhere where there's work and everything, and like that's the other. What the hell is that?
I
Okay, that's the
remember
thing.
when
What's that?
like some of my grandchildren are Muslim, right? So when
He's-
I babysit them, they got to bring me a list of shit that they can't have because I don't know what pork is in. You would be amazed how much pork is in a lot of this candy and marshmallows and just
What?
craziness. Yes. So like they
Oh,
can't have Skittles. They can't have marshmallows unless they're vegan. They can't have the certain candy. They can't have certain like I make these little pasta salads sometimes and put chicken in them. Well, if they got bacon flavor, so it's got pork flavor, so they can't have that. I get a list, right? Some drinks, they just can't have certain things. And this is what I told my lawyer at the time. So just because I don't like the fact that they can't have the shit that I got in my house and I have to go buy different shit for them, I should call CPS on them. Get the fuck out of here. That doesn't even make sense. It doesn't matter. As long as she's taking care of them and they're healthy and they're not being abused. Well, my kids already know you abuse my grandkids, I'm coming for you, child or not. Um, but no, it's none of my business until they're here. And then I got to make sure that they don't eat the shit that they ain't supposed to be eating. Just ridiculous. So stop doing it. Stop weaponizing CPS because all you're doing is destroying your own families. Darren has narcolepsy, everybody. So that's why he's asleep. Ain't that right, Darren? He'll wake up.
it's exciting. I think we should have something special planned for the day.
For what, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, I would say
Family is the most important thing we have.
It's about time we stand up for the kids.
And there you go. There we were.
I love them little people.
I do too. I wish I had one that was just walking around with me.
I got one.
Just have to watch out for it. Just have to watch out for him. That's
Yeah,
all.
I got one. His name's Cairo.
Yeah. You do. Oh yeah, today's his
It
birthday.
is. He turned 3. I was.
Happy birthday, little
Oh, he's
buddy.
asleep. Thank God. I was hoping that he would mysteriously
Quiet.
just be good on his 3rd birthday, but no, that didn't happen.
John, I will do that for you, my friend. I will do that after the show. God. Yep. All right. What else we have? We got Classic Mommies in the house. We got John's in the house. We've got Tammy's in the house. Tammy, want to say a prayer for everybody? That would be great. Pray hard for everybody. We got Brazilian Propheties. She's from California, so that's
Wow.
awesome. We got my friend Kim's in the house. We got Alicia's in the house. We got a bunch of people in here right now. So when you guys, we have need her help in the other way around. Okay, yes, you're talking about Josie. Okay, good. Yes, sir. I will get her in touch with you, or you in touch with her, or whatever, however you want to do it. I'll get you in touch. I don't know. Want to see a couple minutes of our first thing together, Tiff?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
All right. Yeah, let's take a look at that. I think I already have it whipped up.
Oh God, is that the one with Oh, I forgot his name now. Well, I guess we'll see.
Let's see here. Da-da-da.
Herbert. Was Herbert on that one?
Herbert was not on with us that day.
He hasn't been on since.
This is, let me see here. This is not our interview. Okay, so our interview, me and you, when we were at the when I was a guest. You know, you're the only show I've ever been a guest on.
Aww.
Oh,
Well, that's because I'm like, see, I used to see you on the Vince Davis show, right? And I'm like, and then I didn't see you anymore. And then I saw you on Facebook, and that's when I started, like, I was actually interrogating you without you even knowing it. Because I remember what I said to you. I said, "Don't you do the Vince Davis show?" You said I used to. I was like, "Thank God." And then then we were communicating back and forth, and then you finally just came on the show.
Yep. You said, "Well, I want you to get on my show." I think someone bailed on you or something like that, and you had gotten in touch with me that morning. You were like, "Hey, I know it was supposed to be then, but now let's do this now," or something like that, right?
I don't know. I just know that when I was like, "Oh my God, he's coming on my show."
That's fun. All right, so let's see. It's right here. Let's see. Tracy G's music. There's Gunner. That's funny too to watch Gunner's show from a year ago. Also.
Yep.
All right, so let's see. Let's see here. All right, here we go. Here it is. StreamYard. Okay.
Yep.
Are we sharing it? Nope. Share my screen. Wicked Warriors and Fight CPS group. Yeah, let's watch a couple of minutes, the opening segments of this here. This is look at how far we've come, Tiff. Look at us.
That was in my basement. And we are live. Sorry, we're a little bit late. My phone, as usual, was having some technical difficulties. Imagine that. So today we are joined with the group Fight CPS. And that's my specialty. Anybody that's fighting these people, I'm on board with. Mm-hmm. So without anything else, I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and we're gonna talk.
Yeah. All right. So I am the so-called CPS Punisher, and we are here to try to curb this thing and try to get towards victory. We've lacked victories for quite some time, and it's about time we figure out how and why. Because they're stealing kids they're stealing kids at a child a minute in this country. And, if you were talking about people losing $1 a minute, I guarantee you they damn well would be listening to everything that you have to say. But you talk about a child a minute, and it's like people just keep on with their business until CPS comes to their house. And there's a whole different. But I'm one of those people too. I didn't have any idea what CPS was. I didn't know what. I didn't have a clue. I thought that they were the good old government of the USA, and they're going to come here and help these people that are, regardless, I was wrong, because they are absolutely not anywhere near what they say they are. They don't do what they say they're going to do. They steal our kids and they make money from it, and that's it. And anybody wants to say that anything different, they're just bull-faced liars, because that's what it is.
Do you work with any of your delegates or your lawmakers? What state are you in?
I'm in Maine. Let me tell you something. People don't understand this, and they don't believe me until they start seeing the evidence. Like this right here, this little quiet state of Maine, the vacation land, the way life should be, all that stuff. This place is a centrifuge. See, this place is the centrifuge of all of this badness. Or if it's this bad here, I can't imagine how bad it is in every other states that have actual populations. I mean, like we have 3 cities in the whole state of Maine, and they're barely city-wise, you know what I mean? And they're separated, but yet somehow Maine ended up the first in the nation as abuse and neglect states. How does that happen? That makes no sense, right? We have less population, we have less anything, because I think the abuse rate in the country right now is 9 kids per 1,000 or something like that. It's right around those numbers. And Maine's almost double that. It is double that. It's 19.6 kids per 1,000 are being abused and neglected. And how do you get that when you have Chicago's, when you have LA's, when you have Boston's, when you have New York's? You know what I mean? That the cities populate more than the state of Maine. It just makes no sense to me. The only thing that makes sense is that they're giving away checks to everybody in the state because of their surpluses. And I'm a firm believer that these surpluses come from the children that they take, because I mean, they got to hide the money somehow. And, I know a lot of these budgets are based on use it or lose it. And these budgets for DHS and all that stuff are based on the number of kids that they bring in, because they're federally matched, dollar for dollar, and things. People are like, oh, they're matched dollar for dollar. Well, no kidding. But they have to get that funding. They get that funding from stealing kids. So people just don't listen, they don't pay attention. But as soon as they get their kids taken, they come running like it's the only case that's ever happened. And that's where we're at. We're trying to, we reach out to lawmakers all the time. I mean, how many lawmakers have you reached out to? I might as well just email a toilet, because, you very rarely get a response, maybe per every 500, emails or phone calls, or even going to their offices that you might get a response. And that's usually like, don't come back here, or, I'm going to block your email now from you trying to get in touch with us. They don't want to hear it. None of them want to hear it. And everybody's same excuse is, we can't do anything for you. Sorry, we're just this. Well, tell me this. How is a person that creates the law, supposed to manage the law, supposed to do all these things with the law, not able to do a damn thing for you when they're breaking the law? They're breaking the same law that you guys are creating, and you guys tell me that you can't do anything about it? You're full of shit.
Yeah, they are.
Right. So, and people need to start. I don't know if it's how do you even trust an election anymore with all the crap that goes on there? Because, I'd like to say, get out there and vote, guys, because we're going to make a difference. But damn well, they're just going to curb that too. I mean, you got to keep America, and you got to keep the American idea and the dream and all that stuff alive. How you do it when it's so just convoluted with crap, like people that don't care. I mean, the number one thing in this country that this country is supposed to be taking care of is the youth and the children. And we just spitting them away. Where are these missing kids? Where do they go? Everyone's always like, oh, well, we have this many kids doing this, that, and this. Okay, well, where are they? Because they don't stop coming. Okay, great. You adopted 40,000 this year, but you took 330,000. So where's the 290,000? And you got a fresh crop of another 400,000 coming in next year. So you keep taking 40,000 away. Well, we're approaching 1 million every 3 years. Where are those kids? I don't know. They lose track. You just saw those things with the committee for the people in immigration stuff, where they came across, they're like missing 85,000 kids. And those are people that have immigrated to this country. You know what I mean? So holy Christ, can you imagine what it must be like for the people that are been here? They don't even pay attention to anything. This stuff's right in front of their face. At least it's making the news. You don't see any of this CPS stuff making the news. I'm turned into a tinfoil hat wearing quack. Oh, this guy, he's just, let's go search him. Let's go. He's got drugs. They're on stuff. They're this, they're that. No, you stole my freaking kid, and I'm pissed. And I'm trying to get people to follow me to do something. I don't even know what it is anymore. I thought this was going to be an easy thing. I really did. I thought this was going to be easy to get a bunch of people behind you. Everybody loves kids. You do this, and that's why I like the videos I play. They're not. I try to hit home. People like, Jesus, your stuff's so dark. Well, it's not nice. They rip your freaking kid out of your family. They tear families apart. Tent cities are popping up everywhere. Why? Bet you if you interview most of them, 60 to 70% of those people have been affected by CPS. They probably all had nice homes before that. They went off the wagon. Substance abuse people, they were sober, raising their kids, but they brought this up, because Joe Blow did crack 20 years ago, or someone was a heroin addict, or whatever they were, but they stopped it to be apparent. But then CPS gets a hold of this stuff and they rehash it. What do you expect? If anybody knows anything about, Jesus Christ, what's the word?
Addiction.
Yeah, but about addiction, but about, my God, why can't I think of it? When you get better. What do they call it? You get better.
Sobriety.
Yeah, sobriety. But if they know about recovery, there it is.
There you go.
I didn't dig deep for that one. But they know that, relapse is part of this whole progress, and they're using that against parents. So that's not even right. It's absolutely out of line. It's like they got you in check at every point of the game. No matter where you're trying to play it, no matter what you're trying to put up there, it's like they're already coming at you. But how not could you be when you have an endless budget? You have an open checkbook. You can have whatever you want. Obviously, you can come up with the best scams, the best schemes, the best lawyers, the best defenses. I mean, you could page judges, even. Imagine that. You have money to pay judges and doctors and all kinds of people you can pay. Just come out into courtrooms and say these people aren't fit to be parents. And this is the reality of what's happening. But people want to say people like us are kooks. And then you have these assholes that are trying to come up in the ranks of this movement and trying to be number one at something, or trying to be whatever the hell they're trying to be, and trying to, like, listen, I get it. Like, if you're going to be in this stuff, you got to make a dollar, right? You got to figure out a way, especially if you're devoting every aspect of your life into this. Sure. But if people are donating money to you to say that you're going to go to this cause, then you don't go and get gas and buy your groceries with that. That money is coming out of someone's pocket that worked hard. That money needs to go to that cause. I mean, we argue this stuff with Red Cross and all this stuff, like they get $1 billion a year donated, but I think like 130,000 actually goes to Red Cross. That's heartbreaking, when someone works their asses off. And if they think that $20 that they sent me is going to go towards directly funding the kids, then that $20 better get there. You know what I mean? If you want to give me some money, go do it like that or something like that. But you get all these people that are just, they're making bad names, they're making bad decisions, they're making bad names, so people aren't taking this movement seriously. Something is wrong in this machine, and we haven't figured out what it is yet. And we're fascinated. I knew this was coming. I got involved with this like 4 years ago. So you had a fresh election over with, and you could see the excitement in the movement. Everyone's like, oh, new people in office, something's going to happen. But you've seen over the past 4 years, you see the machine slow down when you don't see results, or as people get TPR'd, they fall off, which I understand that completely, because there's nothing more disheartening than having your kid terminated from you. I don't like to say this at all, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I feel like having your kid terminated from you is worse than if your kid had passed away, because at least you would have a closure. Like my daughter's still walking somewhere on this earth wondering where her dad is. Why did mommy and daddy leave me? Why did this happen? You know what I mean? Not if they passed away, at least that's done, that's him, and then we can all work on our, recovering and getting out and better, to get better with that. So, and I mean no disrespect that way. Every day, I can't imagine doing a regular 40-hour-a-week job at a supermarket, or just doing anything that I couldn't be in front of a computer and find something that, oh man, I'm going to try this, or I got to call this person to see if I can do this to get my daughter back. I will never stop trying to fight for my daughter back, ever, ever. Like, they're stuck with me for another, she's 7 now, so 11 years I'm in this, or I'm in it even past that, actually, because I'm never going to stop this now. This is my calling, I think. I don't know what the hell my calling is, but it seems like this is working for me, kind of. But the thing is getting all of these people to back us up and listen. It's not the people that are involved in this, but it is. But it's also those people that haven't been affected yet. And how do you make people that don't see something, and how do you make people that don't have to witness it? It's not even in their social groups. How do you make them pay attention to this? They don't want to hear it. It's the elephant in the room. If you've lost your kids to DHS, go ahead and walk into your high school reunion where everybody knows you lost your kids to DHS, and see how fast everybody flocks to you. It's non-existent, and you're the elephant in the room. And one by one, people come up and talk to you and whatever. You're stained. You've lost your kid. They don't want to hear why. They don't want to hear the story. They just hear that you're this, and they don't care. Even friends of 30 years, they don't care. You lost your kid. That's it. And right. There is this stigma that goes with that. And that's what I try to change with, like, the apparel and that stuff. Like, there's the stigma. If we can break the stigma, then we can get people to start listening. Once the stigma's gone, they start listening, then we can educate people. Once we educate them, we can activate them, and then maybe they'll listen. But how long do we have? Like, kids are growing, time doesn't stop. It's really quite a situation, and to not have the urgency and the attention that this thing needs is very disheartening. So that's me. That's what I'm about. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So.
Wow. So I agree with you 100%. We'll first touch on how do we make people aware of this? Well, unfortunately, the saying goes, nobody cares about it until it comes to their front door. Okay.
Right.
So there really is no way. I mean, we can do shows, we can put it online, we can do everything we want to do, but until it affects someone personally, they don't care.
Right.
And as far as people donating and this, that, and the third, I hear a lot of shit about a lot of other advocates.
Mm-hmm.
What I can tell you is the information that I have is free. I don't charge anybody. I know how to get around them because there is a pattern that they have. And the ones that are charging and that don't have correct information, they make everybody look bad.
Right, which hurts us.
Right. It tears credibility of the real people. I've been doing this for 35 years now.
Right, so you've seen a ton. People
Oh
come
my
and go.
God.
Mhm.
Absolute craziness.
Mhm.
Now, I do work with my lawmakers.
Mhm.
But see, here's the thing. I don't think they took me serious until I put my county on blast with their own body cam footage and beat their ass in court again in an administrative hearing. And then now they're like, oh shit, she
here she
really
comes.
does know.
Right, right. So until you make that mark, you get shunned away. Until you become a thorn in their side, you're absolutely right. They can repel all the emails and phone calls and, protests and all that stuff. That's nothing to them. I mean, there's something to be said for how come you can talk about the president on the United States of America, blast his ass all over TV, and that's fine. But if you speak wrong about CBS on national television network, not only do they lose, they get fined, I believe it's somewhere $50,000 or $100,000, which that's tits to them, but they lose their sponsors for a day. And that hits them right in the pocket. But no other thing. They can talk about anything else. Don't you talk about CPS and have wrong information. And you shouldn't report anything wrong anyway. And that's the other thing. You're playing with people's heartstrings here. You're playing with their hopes. Like, you better damn well do your research before you come out and say something. And make sure what you're talking about, especially this age of AI. People are just running shit on AI. And they're like, oh, my AI says this. Read about it. Open up that thing that has pages inside of it with paper and ink on it. That's time, and make sure that stuff's right before you go giving that information to these other people, because they're depending on this information. They're depending on people to help you. I mean, there's not a lot of help out here in this movement. There, you know what I mean? There is and there isn't. I guess there's a way to say. There's a ton of people that are gung ho. I'm going to help you write your documents. Let's go, woo! And you call them tomorrow, and they're nowhere to be found. And there's 1,000 Facebook Messenger groups, and everybody's beating the same drum, but nobody's. And the thing is, and so this is a great question for you. Like, you've seen 35 years. Like, I've had people on my show that have been in for 20 years, and my argument is when they get hot and heavy with me about that, I'm like, well, you've been in for 20 years, nothing's changed. So what do you know? Like, we've got to try different things. But what have you seen, Tiff, that has worked? What does work?
Well, there's a couple things that work. Now, up until 2021, unless you knew me personally or had a friend that knew me, or somebody had to know me in order for me to help, right? Because my biggest thing was being charged with some kind of crime. But when they came for my daughter and my grandson, now, I'm the type of person, I don't bend, I don't break, I don't concede. You can do whatever you want to do to me, but you start coming for my kids and my grandkids, we got a problem. That's when I finally told him who I was. So there's a couple things that work. But I don't want to talk about those on air because they could be watching. You don't want to
let the secrets out, right?
But I will tell you that they can't figure out how I'm getting these kids out of foster care. It's so easy when I because it was like second nature to me, right? At one point, I hit myself and was like, I should have had a VA because that shit.
That's it. That's the first.
That was crazy. But that was a good show.
Yeah, that was great.
And then I'll never forget, a couple days later, I started getting these messages from you, right? And And it wasn't that I was ignoring you, because you see what my life is like. And the last one, I guess because I didn't answer you right away, you were like, God damn it, Tiff, let's do a damn show together. I was like, okay.
Yep, and here we are 1 year later.
Yeah. And I have to say, on my phone, I see the lightning behind the T and the P. But on my laptop, I cannot see it.
Oh, really?
I swear to God. I'm like, well, there's that damn lightning he was talking about. And I told you I couldn't see it. But on my phone,
you can see it now.
It's clear as day.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just want you to be aware that somebody said, hold on, let me find it, because I said Darren. I said, not sure who gets the CPS breaking news mail.
Oh, yeah, Alicia.
Yeah, Tiff and Darren, you have a package coming to the mail address on the website. So be watching for that. I said Darren, because you do.
Yep, I will. And that's awesome. Thank you, Alicia. I don't know what it is. I hope it's not anything like what Tiff did back in the old days, but I doubt that it would be that. So yeah, tomorrow will be our 1 year anniversary show.
I'm so excited. I wish you lived here. We would bake a cake and have it together.
I know. Well, we'll have to go get cupcakes or something. Then we can have one at the same time or something. Twinkie or something.
Yeah, because I think Papa wants to go get Kyra some cupcakes. But the last experience we had with cupcakes, I don't think we should get cupcakes. He was covered from head to toe, and chocolate icing looked like he had shit all over him.
Stay away from that cupcake thing.
Oh, it was terrible.
It's funny stuff. Well, good Lord. Well, yeah, let's do it. We'll have a big extravaganza for tomorrow.
So put some clips together of all our shows. I think that's what our show should be tomorrow.
Oh, all right. That's what I'll do. I'll make us like a little.
Because you know I'm illiterate. I can't do that shit.
All right, everybody. We'll be here. We don't know what we're going to do, but tomorrow will be our 1 year anniversary show. So thanks for showing up. Keep the emails coming. Go to cpsbreakingnews.com. Go to the forum, do some stuff. We'll see y'all tomorrow.